Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
If you were part of yesterday's lesson in the book of Hosea, you remember that Hosea had married a woman named Gomer, who was a woman of harlotry. They had 3 children. The name of the first child was that of a famous battlefield. The name of the second child meant no mercy or no more love. And the name of the third child meant not mine. When we look at something like that, you think, how could that happen? As a matter of fact, as we go on with this story, we're going to see that Gomer becomes so depraved that she actually leaves her husband and she ends up being sold on the slave block. And you think, how could someone become so depraved? Well, let me give you a simple little principle. Sin destroys the nerve that enables us to make moral choices. Now, people don't understand that sometimes. They think they can dabble in sin and trifle with sin, and they don't understand the damage that sin does. Over in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse number 2, and I'm going to back up and read verse 1 along with verse 2. Now the Spirit expressly says that in the latter times some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons, speaking lies in hypocrisy, and having their own conscience seared with a hot iron. Now I want you to notice that it makes the point back in verse 1 that they've departed, that they have departed from the faith. They were once faithful. They knew the truth. How could you know the truth and depart from the truth? How could you have known what was right and been a faithful child of God and then depart from it? Well, you begin to dabble with sin, and eventually your conscience becomes seared. And when that conscience becomes seared, there's no longer a feeling of guilt and pain. You know, pain's one of the most greatest blessings that God's given us. What? Pain's a blessing? Oh, yeah. How would it be if your child felt no pain? They could lay their hand on a hot stove and it could just fry there, but they'd never feel any pain. They might think it's kind of cute to watch it. Do you realize how much damage could be done? Do you realize how much damage is done when someone engages in sin and they feel no guilt? That's what happens when we continue to dabble with sin and trifle with sin. It kills that nerve that enables us to make moral choices. Keep your heart pure. Don't dabble in sin. Join us again tomorrow.